To start out with, I'm going to reopen the project that we did last time, just so everybody knows the process of doing that. You're going to go over to wherever your folder is that had your game. Mine was saved on my desktop and called an adventure game. And when you open it, you're going to get to this file. And so this file we want to open both in Google Chrome and in our code editor, VS Code. So if we double click it, it'll open in Google Chrome, and it looks like that. And then we also want to open it in our code editor. So if I click on it and I say right click, and then I choose open with, one of my options here will be Visual Studio's Code. If it doesn't show up here, you can say choose another app. And Visual Studio's Code should be one of your options in this list. And you can say, okay. And there we go, we're back into our project. You've seen a little bit of this game in previous tutorials, but I want to run through it one more time here just so you know what we're creating. So this is a little choose your own adventure game. It has some text here. You find yourself walking down a forest road. You don't remember how you got there. You can choose keep walking or turn around. If you say turn around, you fall down a wormhole. If you restart the game and keep walking, you end up walking forever. If you say keep walking and then you run away, you end up lost in the forest forever. So this is a really simple game, but it's going to teach us quite a lot about how to structure our web page, how to do some basic stylings, and an introduction to JavaScript and making things happen on a web page. The first step in making our website look like this website is going to be to create the structure. So what we have here is we have an image, we have a paragraph right here with the words, and we also have two buttons on it. And so we're going to create that in our code. Generally speaking, unless you're going to change around the order of things in your styles, things are going to load in order. So if I put a paragraph tag here, it will show up before my other paragraph tag. So just so you know, HTML will load things in order, just like anything normal. So when I'm thinking about how I want my web page to be structured, the first thing that I have actually is the image tag. And the image tag is one of the tags that does not have a closing part. So it'll just be img, and it'll look like that. Now you'll notice if I put in the image tag and I save it and I refresh my page, nothing actually happens. That's because an image alone, it's like putting an empty paragraph, right? It's not done. There's more stuff we have to add to it. It can't just be empty. We have to actually tell it what image to get. To do that, the very first thing we're going to need is an actual image. And you want something that's not going to be copywritten. A good place to find that is Pixabay, pixabay.com. Pixabay is a great resource for finding some images that you can use for free in your coding projects. You don't want to steal someone else's stuff. So for me, I'm just going to look for that forest image again. You guys can find whatever you want for your story here. And once you find it, you can click on it, you can click free download, and you probably want the smallest version you can get. And then you click download. Once we download that file, it's going to show up in our downloads folder. So if you click on your file explorer and go to your downloads, you'll see it right here. Mine is called the road dash all this nonsense here at the end. It's a JPEG file. And so what we want to do is we want to take this and we want to move it into our folder with the project. We want this image to be right next to our index.html files so we can find them easily in the code and the computer can get to them easily. So if you right click on the image and you say cut, then we can go ahead and navigate to our desktop and our game, and then right click here and say paste. And there we go, we have it. They're now both in the same folder. I would also go ahead and rename this because you're going to have to type this name in the code. And so we want to make it something short and easy. So the road, that's pretty good. I like that a lot better. To tell our image tag what image it should actually be loading, where it should be looking for the image, we're going to say image src equals, and then we're going to type in the name of that file. So ours was called the-road. And then files always have an extension to them. So this is a JPEG file. If I right click on it and I click properties, it'll tell us that the extension is .jpg right here. Always look for this type of file, .jpg. And you need to add that to the name. So the road.jpg. Now if I reload the page, you'll see my picture will show up right here. This line right here where we say src equals the road.jpg, this is called an attribute. And attributes are sort of properties of the tag, so things about the tag. So in this case, our image has a property about it, and the thing about it is that the source where it's getting its picture from is equal to the road.jpg. We can give tags all sorts of different attributes. For example, another attribute for the image tag is alt. You say alt and you say equals, and then you put what text you want to show up if the picture fails to load. So I might say the road. And that will help us because then if I mess up my extension or the image doesn't load for some reason and I reload the page, it'll show me that an image was supposed to be there and that the image that was supposed to be there was called the road. The next thing I want to add to the adventure game is our buttons. We have two buttons and they are our two different options for the game. To do that, we're going to create another tag called button. I told you guys HTML is simple. And you can call it whatever you want for now. I'll call it button 1. We'll change the names later. And we'll create a second button called button 2. If I reload the page, my two buttons will show up on the page. They don't do anything yet because we haven't added the JavaScript to control the behavior and actions of our web page, but there they are. We need them in the code. Now that we have a basic layout created for our web page, in the next video, we're going to look at how to create styles and change the layout of our website and maybe make this look a little bit nicer.